Hi everyone. So in this lesson, we'll be learning more about how do we kind of distinguish, or how do we make, a pretty basic um, house or EDM beat, and these are more so for clubbing or simply a music without really too many vocals. And vocals in this case are usually used to basically be like an addition or a melody, um, and not really anything like lyrically related or very minimally so. So like the focus really for these type of music is on like the very hard hitting drums, usually a very steady, kind of like quarter note kicks for the drums, and sometimes the snares on 2 and 4, pretty routine, and again maybe less complex hi-hats when compared to hip-hop songs. And when it comes to the melody itself, it's probably going to be a lot harder when it comes to, let's say, it wants to really punch through the music. It's going to have pretty I would say groovy or dance kind of feeling melodies, and let's say it could be a very simple one as well, but usually it's a lot more dominating in the music when you play on the speaker. So here I have the 380s kind of like the here we see how we have the melody, we have the beat, so the drums, and we have the bass here, and these are all extracted from, again, the stock library here. And if you again click on genre house, and then you can go down here, we'll see like it's right here, all three of them. And again, like I said before, usually when they have the same name, these are from like the same kind of pack or the samples, for whether it's the melodies, whether it's the kicks, or all of them together. It's meant to be together at least from like the stock um, library point of view for GarageBand. So I'll play this really quickly and let you guys get a sense of what it sounds like. So I'll definitely say, like, compared to hip hop, where it's a lot, the probably the notes are a lot more sustained in that last example. If you saw the video earlier, this example here, it's a lot more to do with, um, kind of a very plucked, a lot of short notes, but it has a cadence to it that's very catchy. So if you single like the lead out, which is like the main melody, this is what it sounds like. Something that you will kind of like anticipate at a club. They usually have very, singular hits, singular notes, instead of having like a prolonged sustained note, as we saw before in the hip hop video example. And the beat, it's a lot more simple because it's usually an alteration or like a kind of back and forth between the kicks and the snares, and they have a pretty, again, a very routine and repeated kind of sequence with the hi hats. And as you can really see here from like just basically the audio file, they have a very distinct like repetition here. You have the same thing here, same thing here, same thing here, same thing here, etc. So definitely, I would say when compared to other genres, EDMs or house or other electronic dance music, the drum section is definitely a lot more simple. But the melody might be a lot harder, and if you really go with the professional route, a lot more mixing, a lot more effects, etc. So I'll single out the beats just to give you a comparison. Notice how, like I said before, the snare hits on 2 and 4. If you look at the top right here, I'll give you a sense of exactly where in the 1, 2, 3, 4 of a beat, the snare or the hi-hat or whatever the drum thing is. But pay attention to how the kick actually lands on every single one of these, notes. So it lands on 1, it lands on 2, it lands on 3, and it also lands on 4. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And this basically provides a very solid foundation um, for for the EDM music. For bass, it's just like accompanying the lead. I'll play it real quickly. Again, a very strong cadence and a kind of catchy rhythm that accompanies the lead really well. And recognize that the tempo for this is 125, and this is basically a very friendly zone for people to kind of jump around or dance to, right? So this is hence the reason why usually the speed for at least a very typical house or dance music is around this kind of tempo or BPM. and that's basically a lot more different than what you would expect probably from other genres. Something else I will add is that there's maybe a little bit more distortion and less room for, let's say, a middle frequency, um, which is usually where the vocals will come in. If there is if there are vocals or an artist actually singing on the track, and this is because again we really want the bass and the synth in this case, or the melody, to take up all the spot for the melody. We don't really want to have like a very empty sound where there's only very strong bass or only very strong melody. When it comes to other genres, like for example, hip hop, hip hop probably has some room for, let's say, maybe the higher or middle frequencies, um, because they want to have this space, for rappers to rap on. So if you do want to kind of use a sense of like whether or not your beat for EDM sounds full or not, you can maybe try to record yourself over what you already have and see if you can really hear yourself clearly through it. If you do hear yourself, your voice very clearly, chances are maybe your melodies are not strong enough, or it's not taking as much space as you want to. But also on the contrary, you know, if you do want to again, add, let's say, vocals to supplement it, make sure that you have the space filled, and make sure it accompanies the lead synth or the lead melody really well, so that it's very friendly to dancers who wants to jam to it in the club, or wherever they may be. So I'll just play this one last time to give you a sense of what it sounds like, and that'll be it.